Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be showing you the books that I hope to be working on in July. I was pretty successful with the June plans. I did color in a lot of those books. As I mentioned then, I do leave some spaces for projects that I just feel like doing in the month. And sometimes there's the hashtags, and they don't really come out that early. Some are starting to appear on Instagram, but I do want to leave a couple of pages for those. I do enjoy participating in hashtags. I highly recommend them if you haven't tried them before. And all sorts of levels, beginners to experts do them. So, no need to be shy. So anyway, let me get started. I'm going to push these books over to the side and then show you what I picked. The first book is a Hannah Lynn book. And I chose this for two reasons. The first, some of the books that I chose have very complex images. So I'm going to need a breather in between those. And these are definitely more relaxing for me. And my second reason is it's Independence Day in July here in the United States. And I thought this might be a nice one. I know that, I don't know, there are some stars in it, and I thought I could make this a red, white, and blue. So I think that's what I'm going to do here. Just try to get some sort of 4th of July theme going. And hopefully I could pull that off. I mean, I understand it's a fairy and she's on the moon, but I don't know. I just saw the stars and thought red, white, and blue. And it was the only thing that I have that sort of looks like I could make it a 4th of July photo. So first image, Enchanted Faces, hopefully will be a really easy coloring. The next book is the Pictora Dragons book that I had on my list for June coloring that I did not get to. Again, in June I had some complex images to color, and I think that this overwhelmed me as well. I was going to do one of these 2 pages. In June, I thought I was just going to continue after the first page and do either one of these. I don't think I would have done both. But I think it's really complex, and I think I just feel intimidated by it. So I may still do this one, but I also, if I go from the back, because I did color the last page first, I think, I might do this page, this like Lord of the Rings page. And I think this would be easier. First of all, I did the tile because I had some tile here, and it's continued. So a piece of it is already colored. But I thought this could just be like a dark orange or yellow combination of watercolor. I would not have to do any detail there. Maybe I'll pick out a couple of coins to put a gel pen on. But otherwise, this might be pretty simple to do, and then I can concentrate on the harder parts of the image. I have no idea beyond the gold coin what colors to do. I probably ought to make the dragon the same color throughout the whole book, but I just don't want to. It could be multiple dragons. Here's a mama with her baby. I made her red. The one in the back, I made green. And this is on a book, but still, there's a dragon coming out of it. So I think I'm just going to continue with different colors. It makes it boring for me when I have to do like the whole, same colors throughout the book. So I'm going to pretend this is multiple dragons, not the one dragon from Lord of the Rings. So that's the Pictora Coloring Dragons book. I picked Luna from Maria Trolle only because I haven't colored this in a while and I've seen some really nice images lately, so kind of got me in the mood to color her. Obviously, I missed the hashtag for June, but it's okay. So I have several pages picked here. I was really indecisive about it. I picked this page only because we're entering summer here in the Northern Hemisphere. And I thought, okay, you know, water scene is kind of nice, makes me feel beachy. This one I chose, I grow tomatoes, so I kind of like this, you know, making them, I think they are tomatoes. So I'm really favoring this page only because I grow them, but, you know, I'm not positive because this is more complex than some of the other pages. I chose this one because I've never done a page that had a pre-colored black background. I've made backgrounds black with a Posca pen, but to have it already done for me prior to coloring, I've never done, because usually I will color this whole image and then Posca the background. So I thought this might be interesting to try. And it is a cool image, does remind me of summer. I don't know if these are plums. Well, those are cherries, but I don't know. I think these are plums, but could be peaches. And then the last page I chose was this one. I do like these circular pages. I don't know why, maybe because I don't really color any of this around and this has a smaller background for me to work on, but I also thought this was like a spring/summer image, so I guess that's it. Yeah, so basically it's the 4 images, and if I color one, I'll be really happy with that. Next we have Grains of Gold. This is something I colored in May, and I just added the watercolor that I used here onto the wing so that I have a base of it. And I think it would look lovely to do this spread. I don't know what I was thinking when I didn't expand the Tim Holtz onto this page right away. I don't have that many, so I probably could figure out this combination, but I'm not sure I'm going to get it to look exactly the same way. I don't know if I should continue that or, you know, just do a totally different background. So we'll see what I'm going to do. But I love the colors that I chose here, and I'm going to try to bring them all, or if not most of them, onto this page. So that is from Grains of Gold by Hannah Carlson. The next book I would like to work on is Ink House. I really like this book. It's easier to color than you would imagine because I think it lends itself so well to some sort of watercolor media that, you know, the pages go a lot quicker. Needless to say, I haven't done a very complicated page or a more complicated page. So I'm not too sure if that's the case or whether the watercolors really do make it easier to work on. So this is my first one. Again, this summer vibe with, I think this is a hermit crab. I see this as a yellow and blue kind of combination. The crab would be orange and something. I could just make it blue and yellow to kind of bring the cup theme in, but you know, who knows what I'm gonna feel when I start coloring. I usually do change up my colors from what I think I'm gonna do. Okay, so this is a more complicated page, but really love this guy. He's so cool looking. And this might be a really fun page. I mean, part of the background's already done. I wouldn't have to do the wallpaper. So now it's just taking like this grayish blue theme and kind of going throughout the room. So I don't know, this just looks like a lot of fun. And I think this is what I'm favoring right now, but we'll see how I feel when I start those complicated pages. And then the last one is this adorable owl. I love him. And it is my favorite page in this book, but I don't know if I'm ready to color my favorite image in this book. There's a lot of background here. I do not know what to do with it. I could just do it as if it's a wall and just paint it, you know, a color, and then concentrate more on the elements. That is probably what I'm going to end up doing. I'm not that great of a drawer, so I don't know if I want to put anything in the background. I don't even know what I would add, honestly. So seems like a crazy idea. So I think I will just paint in a neutral wall color and concentrate more on my elements, especially him. He's so adorable. I mean, the look on his face, you know, yeah. So love this book. It's an awesome book. I highly recommend getting it. And if you're intimidated by it, I totally understand it. But if we start with the smaller images, maybe we'll get a little braver. So that's The Ink House by Rory Dobner. Next up, I have Mouse Guard by David Peterson. I really love this book. I love the way the pencils react, especially my Prismacolors on this paper. And most of these images can be quite complex, but I'm choosing something extremely simple. And that's to get a breather in between some of these more complex pages. Now, ideally, in the Northeast of the US where I live, these come out very late summer. I think these are Black-Eyed Susans. Not 100% positive, but that's pretty much the way I would color them. And I get that's out of season, but I'm going to color it anyway. I'm not that much of a seasonal colorist. I do just color what calls out to me. And this page, or this image on this page, is the one that's calling out to me. I think I could make it pretty with really bright blue in the background and yellow and black and green. So I think it could be quite vibrant, an image. So more summery than fall. So I think that'll give me a breather. And it's just such a beautiful image anyway. So that is Mouse Guard by David Peterson. Next up, we're starting with my more complex images, and this is from Night Voyage by Daria Song. A gorgeous book, absolutely stunning. Pretty good to work on. The paper is okay. It's very, very smooth, or to me it feels smooth, so not sure. This was a double page spread that I did with Jess from Coloring Bumblebee. And when I did this page, I used mostly pencils and gel pens. I think there is some watercolor somewhere. I'm not too sure at the moment. Oh, I'm not too sure at the moment. I might have based it in watercolor somewhere. But whatever it was, that happens in the background. So even things like this red pencil sort of came through on the other side. So I was wondering, I haven't worked with my gouache that much. I don't have that many colors, but I was wondering about just doing a straight gouache across the present and just making it look like wrapping paper and really focusing on making it a really colorful bow. This is a birthday, so I don't have to do anything like Christmas colors. I could do whatever color I want, and I think it'll give me some much needed practice with the gouache. And since gouache is opaque, well, I hope it'll cover up all of the bleed through. So that's one page that it just bothers me to see it so dirty. And then the other one is this page. I just like it. It reminds me of Tuscany, and I think I would do all of the roofs in that Tuscan brown, that orangey brown. And then I'm not too sure what else to do. Yeah, I have no other color scheme thought of on here except for when I saw this, it reminded me of Tuscany and I thought of all the red roofs. So that's probably what I'll start with and then go on from there. And I think I will try watercolor. It's fairly fairly thick. It's a pretty good, it's a pretty good paper. I just don't know if it bleeds through what I would do on this page because it's so intricate on the next page. But I may be willing to sacrifice this page. I have another clock tower right here. To me, this is a more interesting picture. So if it bleeds through and I can't fix it, I may be okay because I really like this image. It's really cool looking. And I think the watercolor, you know, the way watercolor has like darker spots and light spots, and just it might lend itself really nicely with that color variation with the water. So there we go. Might do a Tuscany or just fixing that page with all the bleed through. So that is The Night Voyage by Daria Song. I think I've already mentioned that Dunkel Bunt by Sarah Richter is one of my favorite books and a book that I would eventually like to complete. So I do like to work on portraits in general. So I try to do a portrait at least once a month. I don't know why I like them, but I really, really do. I have 2 pages. She's speaking to me this month. I have no idea what I would do as far as any colors. She does sort of feel a little Native American here. Maybe I'll do that. I'm not sure. But a beautiful image. And this is one of the images I chose for June that I did not get to. I'm not feeling it this month. Now that I'm looking at it, it is feeling like a great portrait to do around Halloween here. It just kind of fits in with that whole spooky, vampire-ish vibe around Halloween. So I kept it flagged, but I doubt that I'm doing this one. But you never know. I mean, this is such a fantastic book. So that is Dunkel Bunt by Sarah Richter. Another book that I chose for last month was Coloring with Your Octopus. And I think I spoke then on how intimidated I was. I have seen a couple of people on Instagram post, and I wish I had paid more attention because I would have asked them if I could buddy color with them for it, because I am intimidated by this book. There's a lot of background. So I don't know which one of these 2 pages I picked. This in the boat or this playing, I don't know what this is called. But anyway, one of these 2. This one has less of a background for me to worry about, and I can just do it blue as I do often. But I also have one other picked out that I liked a little bit more last month. I think I still do like this one, but this one is more complicated. I was hoping to try my gouache in this book, but with this, I think not, because it has too many elements in it for me to worry about getting my paintbrush around this. It would be easier for me to use my Albrecht and then just add water to it. At least I can get in these smaller spaces with the pencil that with a paintbrush may be a little harder for me. So I'm going to keep this one on the list. This is a beautiful page, and if I just get through my intimidation, maybe that'll help. So that is Coloring with Your Octopus by Brian Kessinger. Another complicated image is from Layla Dooley's Beautiful Planet. This is a stunning book. I mean, it really is lovely. I haven't picked any page out yet because when I kept going through it, I didn't know if I would end up coloring anything because these are detailed. Most of them are. Some of them are quite large, but maybe doing one of the images that are in more of a circle or one of these smaller ones may be an option. It's just that I am drawn more to these double page spreads, but this would take me months to do. And, you know, I may choose that. I don't know. But if not, I'm going to choose one of these smaller ones. I've only done, well, that was to test my pencils. I've only done this one image. Maybe the corresponding page would be nice too. Not really too sure. So many beautiful images in here, but this would take me forever. And this is gorgeous. I love this one. But again, my favorite picture in the book. Do I want to start one of my favorite pictures when I'm not that confident in this book yet? We'll see. So that is Layla Dooley's Beautiful Planet. And my last book is from the haul I guess I filmed in June. And that is the Frida Kahlo Today is Art Day coloring book. I have just selected the first page. I'm not doing the book in order, but I thought that this seemed less complex than some of the later images. Some of them are extremely detailed. I would like to do watercolor on this. And it feels like watercolor paper. It doesn't feel like cardstock. There's definitely quite a bit of grain to it, so it feels like a cold press watercolor paper to me. And you know, just some of this beautiful, it's going to be beautiful when it's done, but I don't know. As my first image, I do not want to get something so complex. And this one I'm going to have to figure out how to get rid of the guy that's on her forehead because I find that so creepy. And I don't know how to do that unless I do something like gouache on her face. But I just find that creepy. I don't understand it. Love this page, but it is more complex than the other one. So I think I'm just going to start with what I'm finding, the simpler page. Yeah, because I could just do this all green with like one color in watercolor and then go over it with pencil to get a variation, to do some shading, to change the color of the leaves a little bit because in nature they're never just one solid color. So, and they're beautiful women. So yeah, I think this is the page I would do in watercolor completely and then go over it with some pencils if needed. So there we are, guys. Those are my plans for July. Again, there will be a few pages that are the result of a hashtag that I might want to be involved in, or if I'm overwhelmed and want to do something completely simple and different, I may choose a different book. But I will get, hopefully, a majority of these done like I did in June. So that's it for July coloring plans. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please consider giving it a thumbs up, and I'd love if you would subscribe and or comment. Have a great day, guys. Enjoy your coloring this month, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.